This is the training on communication, partnering with your child's teacher in school. So what is communication? Let's define that together. Merriam-Webster defines communication as the act or process of using words, sounds, signs, or behaviors to express or exchange information or to express your ideas, thoughts, feelings, etc. to someone else. A message that is given to someone, a letter, telephone call, etc. Some communications, the ways of sending information to people by using technology. Communication is transferring information from one person to another through different forms. Like they said, sounds, behaviors, body language sends communication. Use this information, words, signs. You can communicate in many different ways with your teachers. Through my research on communication between home and school, I found on the Putnam City Schools website the ABCs of communicating with your child's school. I think that these are very important and an easy way to learn different ways you can communicate with the school. So I'm going to go through the ABCs of communicating with your child's school. And like I said again, I got these from the Putnam City School website, and the link is below, so you are free to go and check them out yourselves and investigate their website. So, of course, letter A comes first in the alphabet. A, ask questions whenever you have a concern. Schools want involved parents, especially good schools. That's a big way you can tell the difference between going to a mediocre school and a good school. Good schools want parents involved. Never feel like you're intruding or interrupting, because you're not. Teachers love to have questions. We love to be there for you and answer those questions. So however you choose to do it, ask questions. B, build your child's confidence with regular communication. So not only communication with the teachers, but with your child about the school. Ask questions about what's going well and what's not. Compliment when they're doing well and they have good effort. Encourage them to ask questions. It gets them thinking about their own education. C is to clarify language you don't understand. There are a lot of things that teachers will say that sound complicated, or words or abbreviations that you just might not get. Ask for clarification, and we'll give it to you, because we understand that sometimes you don't use the same lingo that we do, and that's okay. We don't know if you know. So if you don't know something or know what something means that we're saying, please clarify and ask. D, dig deeper into your child's schoolwork and understand what is going on. Partner with not only your child's teachers, but your child. Build that triangle of learning and be involved in knowing what they're doing in the classroom, reviewing homework. Getting involved communicates to your child and to teachers that you care. E, email. We all have one. Email your child's teacher or principal. This is a great form of communication nowadays because a lot of parents are busy and a lot of teachers are busy. but it's easier to access your email and respond quickly and get a response quicker than it is to get a phone call response quicker. F, follow up with teachers and others at your school. Good communication is ongoing. You have to be consistent. Develop a good working relationship with people and your child in your child's school. G, gather information on how your school works. Keep handbooks or calendars close by. They can be a good source of names, phone numbers, and basic information if you have questions. Make sure you know good of school meetings and other major events that you may want to attend, and put them on your calendar. Put them in your phone's calendar so that way you always know when they are and you don't forget, because it is easy to forget. We are all very forgetful people. H, have patience. Have patience when trying to reach teachers. Please remember, we're often at work early and we often leave late. We're busy. We put a lot of work into what we do in the classroom and what we do with your children. Expect timely but not immediate responses. We will and do try to respond as quickly as we possibly can. But there are better days than others when it comes to being busy. And we want you to understand that. We're not going to be able to immediately respond if we're busy doing work for the classroom. And of course, do call the principal or counselor if you have an urgent situation. The office is always open and there's always someone in there. I, inform your school and teacher about issues important to your child. So inform. Teachers and others in your school want to know as much as possible about your child. So if there's important information about their health, about their any other issues that they may have, or things that they enjoy, any behavior, we want to know that and inform us. Every little thing, it really does make a difference. The more we know your child, the more intimate we can make the lesson planning, and the better they will learn from that. J, join parent organizations and school committees. Parent groups and advisory committees play essential roles in linking your school to the communities it serves. So without good representative input, any school can make bad decisions. We need the teachers and the parents to support the school. So we need you as parents to represent our school so that we can make right choices based on what you need and what your children need. If you don't know how to get started or don't know what your school offers, call your principal or the teacher or the office. They will give you the information that you need in order to get to a parent group or an advisory committee. K, keep up to date on technology. Schools have websites. Every district has a website. There's newsletters on it, there's calendars on it, there's information about busing on it. It is your job as the parent to keep up to date on all of that technology. And if you can't find something that you're looking for, call or email the district or the school and ask those questions. Schools need to hear what works and what doesn't from people using their communication technology. So make sure if they are missing something on their website, you call the school and you let them know, because Technology and their website is a huge communication tool, especially now in the present day. L. Let teachers and principals know that you appreciate good communication. Send a note of thanks or appreciation when you get a note. Make sure you're responding to calls and letters, because that shows the teacher in the school that you care about the communication and you want it to be a partnership. Feel free to suggest improvements or other issues that you'd like to hear about. Feedback. Give effective feedback on our communication skills. If you don't think the teacher is communicating enough, then talk to the teacher about that. Make sure you're doing the communication to help better that relationship. M. Meet people whenever you can. Nothing is more important than developing personal relationships with the people at your child's school, especially in your child's classroom. And the best way to do that, even though we have all these other forms of communication like email and phone calls and things like that, is through meeting with them. Have coffee, have a meeting, anything. Face-to-face contact is number one as often as you can get it. If you feel better about your child's school, if you understand what's happening there, so the more you're there and the more you're involved in that, the more you know what's going on, and the more comfortable you feel that your child is getting the education that they need and that they deserve. N. Never go away feeling confused. Please, as a teacher, I beg of you, if you ever feel confused after talking to somebody in the office or a teacher or a counselor, ask questions. We aren't perfect, but we want to make sure that you understand what you need to understand, and that is important to us. At times, stress and emotions can get in the way of good communication. It happens. We're human beings, and we aren't, like I said, we aren't perfect. So take the time yourself and make others take the time to reasonably and rationally discuss any matter of concern. There isn't going to be any instant solutions. Things take time, and that's okay. Oh, organize your thoughts and questions before attending school meetings. This is a big one for anything that you do, whether it's doctor's appointments or meeting with a counselor. Always organize your thoughts first. Write down any questions you have. Write down any concerns you have. Because when you arrive, when you get there, you will most likely not remember them, because that's what we do as humans. We forget things. So make a list of key questions that you want to discuss. When possible, let others know in advance what you'd like to discuss, so they can do their best to answer your questions. Especially with teaching and teachers, I will tell you that it's hard for us to always think on the spot. We're the type of people that like to investigate and research and make sure that the answer we're giving you is correct and informative. And so if we know what you'd like to talk about ahead of time, we're able to do that research for you and find out truly what you need to know and how we can help. P. Provide a good example with good communication. What you say and how you say it has a tremendous impact and attitude, or on the attitude, and outlook that your child brings to the school. And on that note, if you're communicating positively and effectively with a teacher, they're going to communicate positively and effectively back to you. Like I said before, teachers aren't perfect. And sometimes we need a parent that has solid communication skills to show us some other ways that work well to communicate with you guys, because we don't know everything. Sometimes we may think we do, but truly, we don't know everything. And we learn from you. Q. Question school officials about special programs that may be available for your child. So, like A, ask, question, be involved, be curious. There are so many different programs that schools offer, music programs, dance programs, sports programs. Ask and question so you can find something that you can get your child involved in. Schools today offer a variety of special programs and services, responding to all kinds of needs presented by students. If your child has a need, ask what programs there are to help, and then find out how you can make the most of them. Never assume you know all there is to know about your school, because you will be surprised how much is really going on at your school that you may not know about. So ask, question. R. Read and respond to those many notices your child brings home. We know that sometimes it can be a lot, but those newsletters and notices that are sent home from the school are sent home for a reason. There's information in them. They're important. Read them. Respond to them. Parents often miss key information sent home because of all the papers and they don't want to read through them. Sometimes children forget to pass on the information, and sometimes parents forget to respond. So think of your child's homecoming the same way you think of your phone answering machine. Most people check for new messages when they walk in the door. Do the same when you see your child after school. Always ask, what messages do you have for me today? Do you have any papers for me in your backpack? Was there anything important that you needed to tell me today? But definitely, the younger they are, make sure you check their backpacks. They forget to. S. Spend time learning with your child. Learning together adds to the fun, and it helps your child achieve even more. Good classrooms help students support one another in the learning process, and a good learning environment at home does the same. So some tips. Focus your questions on asking about specific things your child found interesting, exciting, or new. Ask questions in ways that express interest in your child's feelings and thoughts, not just progress and performance. T. Thank your child for sharing. Children like to get thanks too. So make sure you take time to show your child that you appreciate when they inform you of things going on at school or they inform you of what they're learning. Really appreciate it and thank them for that. Make sure they know that helping you stay in touch makes you feel good about them and the work that they're doing. U. Understand school rules. This may seem really easy and really simple, but there are so many school rules, whether it comes to behavior, whether it comes to what they can bring to school, what they can wear to school, so many different things. Safety. Please read them. Rules are important. They keep the kids safe. They keep the teachers safe so that the learning can be better, so that the environment that they learn in can be prosperous. V. Voice. Voice your concerns only with people who can solve your problems. So, it is important not to go to parent to parent to parent, gossip and complain if they can't fix your problems, because that's not going to help anybody. So make sure you ask questions so you can find the person that you need to talk to. If you have a concern, find the people that can help you solve the problem. I promise you, we only have 4 letters left. We are on letter W. Wade. Wade through the red tape if it appears. Good schools are run by good people who want their schools to be responsive. Even if in the best schools and school districts, red tape can entangle good intentions. Recognize that non-responsiveness isn't personal. Be persistent and keep communicating. I can't say this enough. We aren't perfect. Be persistent with us. It'll help us in the long run, and it'll help you. X. X out what isn't essential when communicating with others at the school. So like we said before, remember, we don't have a lot of time. And we want to communicate. We want to do the best we can. But make sure when you communicate with us, you are getting down to the essentials. Talk to us about what's important. Talk to others about what's important. The goal of a good home school communication should always be keeping a focus on the success of children. Use that as your benchmark to keep your messages focused. Why? Yearn to help others help your child succeed. Help us help your child. Many people at home and school contribute to a child's ultimate success. How well all these people share information and get along with each other will have a great deal to do with just how successful a child's school experience will be. Use sound communication to build relationships to serve your child. Z. Zero in on the positive messages essential to a great school experience. Don't let your communications be sidetracked by outside issues. Keep people and conversations focused on the outcomes that matter. Don't use communication to dwell on what's wrong, but rather to fix what needs to be fixed or to enhance your child's education. Well, we made it through the ABCs of communication. I really hope that you got a lot of information out of them, and I know it's a lot to take in. So please take your time. Keep coming back and view the training. It's really good to learn all this stuff, and that's okay if it takes a little bit to really soak in all the information. So right now, I'd like you to think about it. Take 10 minutes to think about some of the ABCs and how you as a parent can incorporate them into how you interact with your child's school. Do you do any of the ABCs now? What do you do good? What do you do well? What can you improve on? So spend at least 10 minutes to really think about that and focus. Now that you've gone through the training with me, if you could go to the SurveyMonkey below and take the short survey on what you learned from the training, that would be very beneficial to me and to you guys, so I can change anything that needs to be changed. I welcome any feedback. Thanks.